Let's talk about Halloween. Every year around October, Christians everywhere start debating this. Some say it's evil, demonic, or rooted in witchcraft. Others say it's just harmless fun. So who's right? I believe that yes, Christians can enjoy Halloween. In this video, I'm going to break down the actual history of Halloween, where the fear comes from, and how this season can actually be used for good. I'll also share why it's okay if you personally don't feel peace about it, and why that's fine too. But first, let's clear up the biggest misconception out there. Most people assume Halloween comes straight from some dark pagan ritual. And while there are ancient harvest festivals and Celtic traditions that predate Halloween, the actual holiday we know today is rooted in Christian tradition. See, the word Halloween is a contraction of All Hallows Eve. That's the evening before All Saints' Day, a Christian holiday that dates back over 1,200 years. In the early church, November 1st became a day to honor the saints and martyrs who had gone before us in the faith. The night before, October 31st, was a time of vigil, prayer, and preparation. It was called All Hallows Eve, meaning the evening of the holy ones. Later on, this date was adopted and blended with some cultural practices from Celtic regions like Samhain, pronounced Samhain, which marked the end of the harvest. Some believed the veil between worlds was thinner during this time. But here's what's important. The church deliberately placed All Saints' Day on November 1st to reclaim that time for Christian reflection, not to absorb paganism. Just like Christmas being celebrated near the winter solstice or Easter overlapping with spring rituals, this wasn't syncretism, it was intentional reframing. So no, Halloween didn't start as a demonic free-for-all. It started with Christians gathering to remember the faithful who came before them. Now, let's talk about the real concern that a lot of believers have. Halloween glorifies evil, and I get it, I really do. You walk into some stores and it's all skeletons, demons, witches, and blood. It can feel like the whole world is celebrating death. But here's the thing, that isn't what Halloween has to be. That's a marketing decision, not a biblical reality. There are people who do engage in darkness on Halloween. There are parties and rituals and content that glorify sin, but let's be honest, there are people who sin on Christmas too. Doesn't mean we throw out the whole Christmas season. The presence of darkness in a culture doesn't mean you can't be a light in that space. A 7-year-old in a Superman costume getting candy from the neighbors, that's not evil. A little girl dressed as Elsa saying thank you with a smile on her face, it's not witchcraft. That's childhood. That's community. That's joy. Now, does that mean that every Christian has to celebrate Halloween? Absolutely not. For some people, especially those who came to faith after involvement in occult practices, paganism, or spiritual darkness, Halloween might trigger old memories, temptations, or feelings they don't want to engage with again. And that is totally valid. I always say that if your conscience feels uneasy, don't push through it just to fit in. In the same way, I wouldn't encourage a former alcoholic to go hang out at a bar or with buddies. I wouldn't encourage a former witch or occultist to go to a haunted house or even participate in Halloween really at all. You see, the Bible talks about personal conviction in Romans chapter 14. Paul says that one person may feel freedom while another doesn't, and both are to be respected. So if you're someone who chooses not to celebrate, I support you. But let's not weaponize that against fellow believers who see it differently. Here's where the church sometimes gets it wrong. We shame Christian parents for taking their kids trick-or-treating. We call it demonic. We accuse them of opening doors. But let's zoom out. Do you really believe that a 5-year-old Spider-Man with a pillowcase full of candy is offending God? Or is it possible that you're adding rules that God didn't write? Let's be honest, some of the anger around Halloween is based more in fear than in theology. And yes, we're told to have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 11. But we're also told to walk in wisdom, show grace, and be all things to all people so that we might win some. That's 1 Corinthians 9:22. It's possible to be wise without being judgmental. And to the Christian parents out there, you're not failing your kids because they dressed up as Batman. You're not dishonoring God because you handed out candy and smiled at your neighbors. In fact, you might be doing more ministry than you realize. Now let me flip this whole thing on its head for a second. What other day of the year do dozens of strangers come to your front door, open, eager, and smiling? What other day are entire neighborhoods outside together with their families? You don't even have to knock. They come to you. What if instead of hiding in the dark with the lights off, you turned on the porch light, set up a little fire pit, handed out full-size candy bars, and gave out Bible verses or church invite? What if your house became the friendliest, brightest one on the block? That's what Jesus would do. The video's still not over yet. If you want more insights just like this video, click that like and subscribe button so you never miss another video. Let's get back to it. Ultimately, this isn't about permission. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to help you think biblically and walk in freedom. If you love Halloween and you use it as a chance to laugh, love your neighbors, and dress up with your kids and be present in your community, go for it. If Halloween feels heavy to you and your spirit feels uneasy, don't ignore that. Honor what God is doing in your heart. But let's remember, we are called to walk in truth, live in grace, and extend that grace to one another. Don't condemn your brother or sister for enjoying something that doesn't violate Scripture, and don't pressure someone to participate in something their conscience says no to. Halloween doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be dark. It doesn't have to be demonic. You know what it can be? It can be fun. It can be creative. It can be missional. It can be joyful. It can even be redemptive. So next time someone says Christians shouldn't celebrate Halloween, just ask them this. Are we talking about demonic rituals or my kid dressed as a dinosaur asking the neighbor for a Snickers? There's a big difference. Walk in grace, use wisdom, and whatever you do, do it for the glory of God. Thank you for watching this video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, peace out.